I don't think I can ever get used to watching them lose to Toronto. Let's take a look at this game coming up. I hate losing to the Leafs, guys, even in overtime. And for Matthews to get the goal, just makes me sick. And you could see he's so arrogant about it when he gets the goal. But you know what? 25 shots on goal to 27. The Sabres, really, the last period, they had 3 shots, You're not going to, and he had 1 shot, I think, when it was like 4 minutes left or something in that entire period. Anyway, we'll look at the numbers. We'll talk about this and try to make some sense of it. Here we go. Okay, shots on goal were 27-24 for the Leafs. They had 61% on the faceoffs. The Sabres had 39. They were 0 for 1 in the power play. The Sabres were 0 for 2. Look at the hits in this one, though. Wouldn't it be a fun series if these two played? 47 hits for the Leafs, 41 for the Sabres. If you're wondering why the game was kind of slow pace, it's because of that. It was a physical game. 16 blocks for the Leafs, 8 for the Sabres. 14 giveaways for the Leafs. The Sabres had 16 giveaways in this. I can't remember the last time the Sabres gave away the puck that many times, or I've just ignored looking at it. 10 takeaways for the Leafs, 7 for the Sabres. Shots on goal per period. 10-6 Buffalo in the first after a slow start, then 9 apiece in the second. And the Sabres kind of looked flat offensively in the third. They just looked lackadaisical. They just didn't look like they had it. 10-3 Leafs in the third, like I was saying before. And then we go to the overtime, and we had a few chances. Shots were 2 apiece. Leafs cashing on their second shot. That was the Matthews goal. 27-24 final there. Scoring. Nylander gets his 34th from Bertuzzi and Domi at the 2:29 mark of the second on a nice wrister. And yes, Victor Olofsson gets our only goal of the game. He scores on a snapshot at 6:31 of the second. We go to the third. Nothing happens. We go to overtime. And as you see, Matthews with his 54th. Unbelievable career this guy's having when it comes to scoring goals. For Marner and Riley at 4:20. It sucks. I just hate losing to the Leafs. Guys, I'm not still sick. No, I'm a little blob. I'm not sick. So, you know what? It's almost like the team, tell me if I'm wrong, guys. They looked a little in shock. One of the boys got traded. That's kind of the feel I felt the game had when I was watching it. They looked a little angry. They threw 41 hits. So they were awake that way, but the Leafs did play pretty damn good, though, with the puck. They were pretty good, when they had it. Their big guns were their big guns tonight. They were out there making plays happen, but I wanted this to get to the shootout because I think Luukkonen would have stole the show in the shootout. It's too bad we didn't get there. I hate 3-on-3 overtime, folks. I can't stand it, but hey, I'd be the first one celebrating right now if the Sabres would have won in that overtime. I would have been really, really partying about this win. I would have had a little fun at Toronto fans' expense, but Leafs are still full credit for the win. They finally kind of snapped the Sabres jinx for tonight anyway, because we've had their number for quite a bit the last few years, kind of, Ever since they beat us in that game. Remember in Buffalo with like 10 seconds left, we turned it over and I didn't know Lyubushkin was back on Toronto. Don't ask me how I didn't know about that. I just didn't know. And I heard his name. I'm like, what? So, yeah, that kind of surprised me. So, in the game, I want to mention Greenway had 6 hits in the game. Owen Power had 5 hits in the game. I don't know if Owen Power's had a 5-hit game in his career. I should have checked that before I started talking here. Dylan Cousins had 5 hits. And Robinson had 3. Gergenson's had 4. It was a high-hitting affair, There's a few guys, though. Like Krebs didn't have a hit, which is kind of funny. But I thought Greenway played exceptionally well in this game. His presence was felt in this game on the ice, as you guys seen. Like, he didn't make many mistakes out there, I thought. I enjoyed his game today. And I got to ask Charlie if he's gotten his Greenway jersey yet. Charlie, you got to get that number 12 jersey. Get on it. And the Blue Liners overall, hey, you know what? I don't want to complain about the team tonight. The numbers are good tonight. You know, the numbers are good, except for the shots on goal in the game. And it was that type of game. There wasn't much room out there because somebody was gonna get hurt sooner or later, it felt like, in this game. Somebody was gonna get nailed on the boards and get hurt. That's just how this game felt when I watched it. But hey, losing to the Leafs, there's just no good way to get around it in a video. There's no way I can get around this. There's no way, you know, like it sucks. When Matthews scored, I was like, you know, I heard my phone go off. And sometimes Jim usually texts me sometimes during the game. And sometimes Jim will like text me when the Sabres have scored, not when they've been scored against. When I heard the phone go off, I didn't want to check it and jinx it. And I didn't check. I had my phone flipped. And I heard somebody had texted me, so oh, maybe the Sabres come back here. And it was all Leafs in our zone at this point, so I'm thinking the Sabres are going to turn it over, go up ice and score. And then I see Matthews score, and then I seen Jim's comment, which I could repeat, but I won't repeat what he said. It's like, oh man. So yeah, it sucks they lost. But folks, the 500 season continues, because that's what's going on this year. I keep saying it. I think this is an 82-point season, not 81, not 83. When it's all said and done, I think the Sabres are going to be 82 points. And we're just going to have all these question marks. It's just how it feels, you know? Like, I was happy they didn't lose this in regulation. I was happy about that. So there is that. I mean, there are 519 games left. It's not looking good. They got to go 15-3-1. 15-3-1 to have a chance to get in. 15-3-1. So we'll see if they can go crazy to close out the season. And if they don't, they don't. And we'll just have to figure out in the offseason to fill up the holes on this team and take a hard, long look at what our general manager did this year, because this year he's going to be judged for sure. And so will Granato behind the bench. We're going to have to look at the whole package when it's all said and done this year. Mind you, a lot of hockey left to play, guys. So I don't want to toss in the towel just yet. We get a 5-6 game winning streak going. And we need one soon because we have 19 games left. If we can do that, all of a sudden, things can change. So let me just check the upcoming schedule and we'll call it a night here. Oh, I hate losing to Toronto. Check the schedule. Okay. So now we're in Nashville next game. That's going to be no easy task. They're playing really good hockey right now. Then we get the Oilers, who are killing everybody, it seems, in Buffalo. Then we got Detroit. And then we got Detroit again. I'll talk about that in a sec. We got Detroit. Then we have the Islanders at home. Then we're in Detroit. So we got to sweep out Detroit to have a chance, because we could still catch Detroit. No matter how hot they are, they could start nosediving, that team. So there is a bunch of hard games coming up. These are all playoff teams that are coming in. We got Edmonton, Nashville, Detroit, Islanders, Oilers, Canucks, Seattle, bubble team. You know, there's all sorts of crazy hockey we have to play. Then we got Calgary, bubble team, Ottawa, out of it. New Jersey, just fired Lindy, Toronto. So that's how we close out our month. If we can get on a roll, guys, I'll say it again, got to get on a roll. We can't just play 500 hockey. We don't have a shot getting in that way. A lot of things can happen in 19 games. I'm not going to give up, but realistically, I'm not getting my hopes up either. I'm just going to root them on, see what happens game to game. So guys, the next time we'll be talking, provided I can get in here tomorrow and do a few things. I just want to check. Yeah, I got the pregame tomorrow, so I'll jump on that tomorrow morning probably. And then the game's at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And then we have the trade deadline. I don't think Adams is done. I just don't. I'm guessing the game, that tonight, guys, no joke, that could have been Okposo Gergensen's last game. That could have been Olofsson's last game as a Sabre tonight. This is all possible. I'm pretty sure we're going to try and move on from some of these players. And you know what? If we even get prospects back, I'll take it, really. Get draft picks and prospects, it's fine, really, for those guys. It's okay. A guy like Mittelstadt, the way he was going, we had to get an NHL-ready player that is high caliber and high draft pick at least, and we did. We got a guy, you know, as we know with Byram, that's a 4th overall pick. So we kind of swapped a high draft centerman for a high draft defenseman. We'll see what happens there. But if we can get anything resembling close to a 2nd round pick for any of those guys, I'll be shocked, really. I'm not expecting to get more than, I don't know, a 3rd rounder. You know, a 3rd rounder maybe, and that would be it, really. A 3rd rounder, a 2nd rounder, and a 4th. No, a 3rd, and a 4th. I'll be thrilled for those 3 guys if we move on from them, because it opens up the salary, you know. And I'm all for that right now. I'm all for change, guys. I'm all for change. So I want to see some new blood come into our dressing room. I'm excited to see Byram. I'm excited to see how he's going to fit in with the team. But I think we got a stud. So we got a stud back. We didn't just lose one. We got one back. So I'm excited about that. Let's try and get something going at the deadline besides just moving on from the guys that we're moving on from. I want to try and trade some of our pieces inside our organization that are below for something NHL ready right now that can help us, because we could use it, you know. That's it, guys. You have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm taking out her Royal Highness. She wants to go out, and I'll see you guys in the pregame tomorrow. Have a great night.